Positive energy throughout Central Florida and around the world. For 30 years, Fringe has provided a platform for storytellers and artists to express themselves and inspire creativity. Orlando Fringe is an international theater festival, bringing together over 75,000 attendees from all over the world each year and giving 100% of ticket sales directly to the artists. And don't worry, we're not going to let this pandemic stop us from bringing one-of-a-kind arts experiences to our community. With over 2,000 participating artists, Orlando Fringe is in a unique position to have a significant positive impact on the $900 billion arts and culture industry, which has taken a huge hit during this crisis. We are committed to giving artists a voice, a platform, and a stage. We will continue to be creative, continue to be unusual, to reinvent the norm, and to stay positive. See you in May at Orlando Fringe.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hello and great greetings.
Hey, everybody.
Hello. Howdy.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello there.
Hello. At Orlando Fringe, we believe in amplifying voices. Our goal is to ensure that we are creating and fostering
An inclusive, equitable, and collaborative environment.
One that promotes participation
And openly recruits diverse performances and stories.
Providing opportunities
For underrepresented artists and communities.
By not only offering a platform
for inclusive shows, artwork, and experiences,
but by facilitating and creating opportunities
for coaching, mentorship, and scholarships.
and by offering any guidance.
That might help on their artistic journey.
Ultimately, our greatest ambition
is that artists and patrons of any background
will see themselves represented
in the work showcase at the Orlando Fringe Festival,
as well as all of our year-round events.
and that we might serve as a model and inspiration
to other artists
and all arts organizations
in our own community
and around the world.
Come check us out.
So join us.
Join us.
So join us.
Welcome to Orlando Fringe.
Welcome to Orlando Fringe. Welcome to Orlando Fringe.
Welcome to Orlando Fringe.
Welcome to Orlando Fringe. You're all welcome.
Hello, everybody. Oh, I'm so thrilled to be here and have you watching this evening. My name is Melanie, and I am the Visual Fringe producer here at the Orlando Fringe Festival. And we have a really fun evening planned for you. We're actually going to be joining us for our very first of our Talk Art by Art interview series with some of our gallery artists. It's going to be so much fun. You're going to get to meet two of our gallery artists tonight and learn about their art that will be in the gallery this year at the Orlando Fringe Festival. So if you haven't tuned in before, what is Visual Fringe? Visual Fringe is the visual art component of the festival. That includes paintings, ceramics, jewelry, sculpture, drawing, anything visual art. And as with the rest of the festival, 100% of sales go right back to the artist. So if you buy a piece, the complete sales price goes right back to that artist. And this year, new and different, our gallery is going to be completely online. You might be used to seeing it in the halls of the Orlando Shakespeare Theater, but this year it is online, which is so exciting. It has allowed us to open up new mediums. We have artists from all over the country, and that means no matter where you are, you can buy some art and have it shipped directly to you. At the festival this year, we're also going to be having these large-scale installations on the lawn that you get to interact with. If you go to the Orlando Shakespeare Theater courtyard, we're going to be having an art market. You're going to be able to see more pieces as well as purchase different art that may not be in our gallery. And then we also have a series of live events on the Play What You Can stage. Unique, different takes that are also interactive, but all about visual art. And I'm so thrilled to have our artists here today because not only do they have art in the gallery that you can purchase, but they're also going to be at our art market at different times. You can meet them in person and talk to them there. And both of them will be a part of our event series on that Play What You Can stage. So both of these artists you'll get to see many, many times, interact with them, talk with them, attend their events, and support them by buying their art. So this is going to be a really cool way to start meeting them tonight. So our very first artist that is going to be joining us is Becca of Koop Creates, a local artist who I am so thrilled for you all to meet if you don't know her already. So, hi, Becca.
Hi there.
Oh, I'm so happy to have you join us. I have been a fan of your art for several years now. If you attended the digital virtual winter mini fest this past one, you might have seen Becca did one of the shows, the virtual shows. She did a virtual painting class. So Becca is no stranger to Fringe, but if I'm correct, this is your very first year submitting to the gallery.
I submitted last year, but then that didn't happen. But this is my first year that my art will be at the gallery.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Unfortunately, last year was canceled, so none of the art made it to display for the public. But yes, this year we're here. Your art's going to be there, and I'm so thrilled. And I want our audience to get to know just a little bit about you. So tell me, Becca, what is kind of like your normal medium of art, if you have one?
I do acrylic and I do watercolor artwork. I prefer watercolor. For me, it's a very freeing. When I'm doing acrylic, like this piece above me, I find that I'm stuck. I can make it photorealistic, so I do make it photorealistic. When I'm working with watercolor, I find myself a lot more free. I'm not in control of the watercolor quite as much. So it's a lot more fun for me just to kind of be free and let the water and the paint do what it wants to do. And I just kind of get to follow along and create something out of whatever is going to happen on the page. I never really know. So I do prefer and certainly spend a lot more time kind of creating watercolor pieces. They're definitely my favorite.
Yeah, I love that concept. It sounds very kind of improvised and fluid, flexible and spontaneous, one step to the next.
Yes, and it's like I like to plan things in my life, and when I paint with watercolor, I can't, and that's liberating a little bit. So I really enjoy it. It really allows me to just be free and just enjoy what's going to happen on the page and not plan everything to a T.
Absolutely. I mean, I completely get that. I think that's actually one of the things that I struggle with when creating art is wanting to follow the plan that my life becomes.
Yeah.
So I love that concept so much. Yeah. So how long have you been utilizing watercolor?
So I started painting about 8 years ago when I moved to Orlando. I had done a lot of graphic design before. And when I moved to Orlando, I decided I didn't want to do that anymore. But I needed some creative outlet. And a friend of mine sent me a care package with some little watercolor set and one canvas. And I didn't know what I was doing. I used the watercolor completely wrong, but I just fell in love with learning something that I don't feel like I can master. Every time I paint, I learn something new. Every time I paint, I feel something different. And so I just started painting 8 years ago, and I have not stopped. I paint almost every single day, all the time. And so it's something for me that it's just a constant challenge to just try to learn new things and, grow as an artist, but I don't feel like I'll ever master it. And that's really exciting to me. But it's been an 8-year journey.
Right. And you're right. It's a constant journey. Every day you're learning something new. You're discovering something new. Absolutely.
Like, I didn't know that could be that way. This brush does what?
Am I allowed to do this? Is this legal? Yeah. Absolutely.
This
absolutely.
Allowed?
I love it.
Rules.
Yeah. I'll encourage everybody watching, follow Becca on Instagram at Koop Creates. Watching the journey and seeing the pieces pop up, they're always so warm and welcoming and bright and colorful. And it's definitely just going to be a little bright spot to your day as you're scrolling. So definitely perfect is boring. Thank you, Lindsay.
Yeah.
That is true. That is true. Yes, your pieces are gorgeous. I mean, that's the best.
Thank you.
Follow. You're going to totally.
I try to bring a little joy to the world when I'm creating art. I try to create things that I would like, and I like to have art that makes me happy and makes me smile. So I try every piece that I send out into the world, I try to make it make someone smile and bring a little joy to people.
Absolutely. And I mean, that's the great thing. You get to be creative and allow creativity into the lives of others in just such a positive way. Yeah. I love it. I actually, Kayla, keep sending compliments. We love them. Keep going. I do want to, speaking about the art you send into the world, I do want to take some time to see and talk about the pieces that you'll have in the gallery this year. So again, the gallery is online this year, which means no matter where you are, you can buy this art and it will be shipped to your doorstep and you will open it and that joy will be right there for you. So definitely look at our gallery when it opens. It will be opening May 18th. For the general public and a couple days earlier for Club Fringe if you are a member of Club Fringe. So we'll throw that link up to where it's going to be in a little bit, but it won't be open until the 18th. But yeah, let's talk about your pieces. So the very first piece you have in is this Rainbow Moon Phase piece. Yeah. Here it is. This is so fun. And this is also, if I'm correct, is this watercolor?
It is watercolor. It's watercolor on canvas, which again isn't allowed, but I did it anyway.
Breaking the rules, being edgy here at Fringe. I love it. So exactly. Yeah, can you talk a little bit about Was this one of those pieces that you kind of started and took it where you were, or have you been interested in painting this topic before?
I have painted a few different moon phases, and I find when I get into a groove of painting something, I like to really like land on that. So I think in that weekend, I painted like 3 different moon phases, but I like this one a lot because it's sort of the opposites of like a rainbow in the sun, and that creates a rainbow. And then with this moon phase idea, I thought it was a really nice kind of clash of the bright colors and the black watercolor kind of showing through was a really, I don't know, different idea than I'd had. My other ones are like black and blue and black and purple, which are very nice too. But this kind of showed sort of those opposite reactions, I guess, with the sky. And I thought was really interesting. And it's kind of witchy, it's kind of pride. It kind of hits a few different things as well that I think could look really nice on someone's wall for any amount of reasons that it kind of connects to people. That will also be, I have prints of that coming to my booth sale as well. And that is the original, will be up in the gallery that is on canvas. And again, just kind of breaking the rules, doing some watercolor on canvas. I let it, that's one of those videos, as Kayla was mentioning, that is really fun to watch because when I put the watercolor onto canvas, I really have no idea where it's going to go because it doesn't dry right away. It doesn't settle quite as quick. So you just kind of guess and then come back and kind of clean it up and see what's going to happen.
Absolutely. And I think, that really did stick with me. What you said is you're right. You don't often see moons that are rainbow, and having kind of that bright arc of colors pass through is really kind of interesting, as also the phases pass through the moon. So I really do love that contrast. That's so cool. Yay, I love it. And I do want to talk about your other ones too. So we have these birch trees that you've painted that are kind of these black and white watercolor birch trees. And I have seen, I believe on your Instagram, some other birch trees, which are always one of my favorites to see. I'm a big nature lover. So whenever I see these pop up, I'm a big fan. So did you start with birch trees thinking you were going to kind of zoom in a little bit?
Yeah, somebody asked me for a commission a year ago that was like, I want something blue and green and trees. And I just, all of a sudden I had this idea of this style, of a way that you kind of look at a birch tree and it's got so much dimension to it. And so I created this first piece for a commission, and I, again, just kind of like went right in. I was like, this is a really cool idea. I've done them both on canvas. This one's on paper. And I do them pretty quickly, which is fun for me. I just kind of sit down all in one go. I create these birch trees. I have a couple of different colors that I've created over time. And it's a really relaxing thing for me to do, to sit down in an evening and just say, okay, I've got an hour, I've got 2 hours, let's go and let's see what I can kind of come up with. But with the black and white was certainly, I really love playing with color. And then I thought, I don't know, maybe we just won't have color. And that's how this one came about. And it was, I just love this look of, there's very little paint on this page, or on this watercolor paper, but it really has so much dimension. And
it does.
It's not what you would think when it comes to, oh, she paints with watercolor. It's something very different.
It definitely has dimension. And you also, I feel in that painting, I can see those moments of the watercolor kind of making its own journey, which is really kind of exciting in a nature piece. So,
thank you.
Love to the birch trees. We all love them. Yay. And I'm just going to keep saying the word love today because that's how I'm feeling about all art. This floral skull, which is the final piece that you're going to be having in the gallery, that is for sale. This one actually is a print though. So you can order a print of this one, which is really exciting. Prints for the very first time this year are allowed in our gallery. So that is an option. But this is watercolor, and also the contrast kind of this color to kind of the shadowy skull really is a lot of fun.
Yeah, I was just feeling spooky. This is like very not my norm. I was just feeling spooky one day, and I just thought it would be, I don't know, kind of rock and roll and feminine and fun at the same time. And there's 9x12s are going to be sold on the gallery as prints. but I also have other size prints that are on my Etsy as well. So this painting does come in a lot of variety, and they look stunning. The prints of this, it's got a lot of depth that you can't see this small. It was watercolor as well as ink, and it really has a lot of depth that it's kind of scratchy, and I don't know, it's sort of steampunky, but also feminine and floral and colorful and bright. And I thought they were, again, just like a juxtaposition that I wasn't expecting. I don't know, I was having a mood.
I mean, some of the best art is from just having a mood. Having a mood and having a place to put it on paper or canvas or clay or metal or whatever it may be. So
yeah, somebody was like, where's this come from? Like, are you okay? And I was like, I'm fine. I don't know. Kind of steampunky this week.
And now that I've gotten it out, I'm feeling great. I needed to do this. Great. I love it so much. Of them. Yeah. But also, speaking of your Etsy, why don't you give a shout out to where people can find your Etsy?
Yeah, so I am Koop Creates on Etsy as well, one word. If you just search Koop Creates, it's koopcreates.etsy.com. I have a very wide range of art, as well as stickers and bookmarks, and all sorts of things that will also be sold on the lawn on the 29th, the final Saturday. So all sorts of things that are currently available on Etsy, but also some very exciting things that I'm really excited to showcase for the first time, of different items with my artwork on them that I hope you guys are really going to like, and some things that are a surprise.
They're absolutely going to, yeah. But you can definitely come meet Becca at the courtyard, is 6 to 10:15 on that date. I also just want to give a shout out real quick. Becca will be teaching a cocktail and paint class at Fringe, in person, socially distanced, masked. It'll be safe. We provide all the supplies. Becca will be leading you through how to create this kind of underwater sea turtle. I am so excited to take it myself. There are only 3 tickets left for that. It is limited seating, so we can get really into teaching and how to do it and answer those questions. So if you're interested in that, head to the Fringe program, head to the ticket sales, grab those last 3 seats. We will give you a ticket to get a cocktail, and you'll get all of the supplies, and you'll get to take it home. So definitely head to right there, orlandofringe.org, grab those tickets, 3 seats left, and you'll get to take home a piece that not only Becca taught you how to do, but then of course you can buy one of Becca's pieces. So you've got kind of the beauty of both sides of that. So looking forward to that. Becca, thank you so much for joining us today. I hope everyone will check you out on Instagram, Etsy, but also, of course, when the gallery is up and running, head to that gallery, check out those pieces we talked about. Bye. It supports Becca. So Becca, thank you. And I cannot wait to see you at the market and for the events and for the gallery.
Thank you. I'm so excited to see all of you.
Thank you so much. Oh, this is so fun. Our next artist also will be in the gallery, has an event, and will be joining us at the market. Our next artist is Raquel, who is going to be talking about her art in the gallery as well as her event. So let's all welcome Raquel to the stream. Hello!
Hi. Hello. Thanks for having me.
Oh, we're so thrilled to have you here, surrounded by your art.
Yes.
That is the true sign right there. My first question actually is, by looking around at your art, it seems like you're using kind of maybe a slightly different paper. I see like a brown paper that your art is on.
Yeah, I actually love to work on paper, specifically like discarded paper or like paper that's extra and left over. This really is just brown like craft paper, just like a slightly thicker version of it. And I think it's a wonderful, thing to work on, even though it doesn't always react the way you want to. It buckles, it misshapens, and I think that just sort of adds texture to a painting. So I'm like, yeah, let's go for it.
That is so amazing. The concept of using what you create on to add texture to the overall piece. We're not just thinking the medium that you put onto a canvas or paper. We're thinking how it all interplays and connects. That's amazing. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about your art journey. How you started, what you create with.
Yeah, like most things in life, I sort of fell into it. I love color. I have always loved color. I was the little girl who had like the 120 pack crayons because I wanted every single color I could possibly use to color anything in. And for most of my life, I thought I could never draw. I could never be an artist. I could never do any of that stuff. I could just color. And then over the past like couple years, there's just some things that happened in my life that sort of like the only way to express it was to literally grab a piece of paper and whatever I had at hand and throw it out there. So I guess, a mixed media artist and an intuitive artist. I don't have any training. It is all just when I sit down, I'm going to paint something, I'm going to draw something, I'm going to throw whatever medium feels right. I'm in my office, but what you can't see is that there is just every type of medium everywhere. And it's all within arm's reach because at any moment I could go, okay, I need a crayon. No, I need a paint brush. No, I need a pen. It's just all right there.
So it just kind of flows through you in the moment. You're in the zone and you're like, what do I need that is a different medium, a different texture, a different feeling?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's amazing.
I like to balance the texture as well as the color and the space and negative space. So it's just a matter of just like, it feels right at the moment. And I just stop myself there. And it's very opposite of me in real life because I'm a huge control freak. So basically this is my way of not being the control freak I normally am.
Absolutely. And I completely understand that in my own life. So I support that release. Yeah. And I think that's really interesting, kind of the world of abstract art. Mm-hmm. And even looking at the pieces around you and those abstract art and really kind of the different layers that it requires, the negative space, the texture. What are your thoughts on kind of utilizing abstract art, as you said, to kind of create emotion and feelings?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's just it just is, I think, some of the best way to do so. I grew up in New York and I had access to museums all the time. And I basically lived in them and saw so many things. And being able to just resonate with something that made no sense to the visual eye, but made total sense to like the emotional heart. And being able to sort of process how a flash of red meant anger or passion in that moment, and seeing a splatter of white instead of a solid line and perfectly positioned people always spoke to me. So to me, that it's just pure emotion because there's no other way to shape it. It is what it is.
I really connect with that phrase. That is what it is, mm-hmm. And you're right. And I will say also, I encourage you to follow Raquel on Instagram. That's also one of the artists that when I scroll, I do see those colors and they flash by, and it always makes me stop. Raquel's art always makes me stop because I have that moment and I have that emotional response. And you take a moment to be like, oh, what is this response I'm feeling? How am I feeling? And why is that connection? And it really is kind of a self-centering time that I enjoy mm-hmm. so much, especially with those pops of colors, because they're always so connecting to the world, and it stands out and it sticks out kind of in the scrolling. So please, please, please follow Raquel on Instagram. You will not regret it. Raquel, where else can people find your art?
I do have an Etsy shop open. It is currently... there's some things that are on there that are available, and there's a lot of things I've pulled off because I am going to limit them until I bring them to the market. So I am excited to have those. I'm going to have some new things, but on Etsy it is RLM Art, so ARELLEM Art. It is a play on my initials. So it's just me being fancy.
I like it. I like it a lot.
You can find me there, and of course my Instagram. That's usually where you're going to see most of my stuff, and all my little sketchbook, diary, art journaling journals.
I love it. And then of course the gallery, which I want to jump to next to see those pieces, because I actually just got to see them for the very first time last night, and I popped up and I was like, Yay! Because they are so wonderful.
Thank you.
So the very first piece that you have in is called, if I remember correctly, it's Remember Joy.
Mm-hmm.
That is the very first piece. And it's right here, Remember Joy. And I just adore kind of this black, solid background within these really bright pops of color. And as you said, those different mediums. So out of curiosity, how did you decide to title this Remember Joy? What stuck out to you?
This, like most of my paintings, most of my things are an emotional outlet, some ways to process what I'm going through at that moment. I started this painting when a friend of ours was sort of at the end of her battle with Hodgkin's lymphoma. And so I was sort of processing my own feelings with that, but also my friend's feelings, her husband who was, by her side. And so I was like, what can I say to him to sort of get him through this, because we knew the journey was going to end and we knew that day was going to come very soon, and it did. And so I finished it after that point. But what I always wanted to tell him was Remember Joy. Her middle name was Joy. And her initials are RJ, or they were RJ. And so her first and middle initial RJ. So I wanted to kind of honor her, because it was, it sort of put a boost under myself and my partner to, you know what, just like, this is what we love, art and music, and being the creative people we are. Why not jump and do that? And so I jump now into everything with Joy, remembering that that's how she tackled things and how she tackled life. So that name will always stick for me there. That is a celebration of her and what the legacy she left for all of us.
Wow. That's truly one of the reasons why I think art is so crucial and important in this world. Because not only is it a way for artists to process and function, but now we have this piece that is connected to such a powerful story and a powerful emotion, both you and what the piece gives, that now can find a new home. And that emotion travels and that intent travels with that piece. What a true honor it is to have a piece like that is such connected to a true emotion and a true story. I'm so sorry for your loss. That is just such a struggle, but
that's life.
That is life, and
even in the blackness of it, you gotta throw some color, or else it's always gonna be black. So
yeah, and you're right. Through the blackness, add some color, and remember that joy. That really is powerful. So thank you for sharing that story.
Of course.
Which actually is an interesting contrast to this next piece. At least the title stood out to me. So this next piece that you have is actually called The Crying Song, which when I first read them, I thought, how interesting of a contrast, having a piece called Remember Joy and then The Crying Song, but also how those interplay so much. So yeah, you tell me a little bit about the creation of this piece.
Yeah, I'm the kind of person who is very, I wouldn't say necessarily influenced by everything around me, but I keep myself open to everything around me. And when I'm in my studio, there's constantly something playing, like on my iPad screen or something, whether it be a show or music or a moment. But this one here was another one of those where I just sort of went with it. And I hadn't planned on adding that blue drip. Actually, I was just going to leave it. And then I saw I had some extra blue paint on the side here, and I said, you know what, this needs something else. And once I added that blue drip, and I let it sort of like sit there for a second, I immediately saw this sense of outcry in that like picture and in that painting. And I just was like, yes, that's what it is. There is this sense of like pain and sorrow that comes out, but sometimes the best way to get it out is through music, because again, my partner is a musician, so I live in a home where we're just bohemians basically, and so there's constant music playing behind me as I'm working, and that's how they process life, and so just sort of that connection of just like me creating something that was visual and them in the background creating something that is audio, is always just, I don't know, like to me, art in any shape or form is one of the best and most true ways of expressing emotion in that way. And it's just kind of like the way we
I think that is so fascinating because I didn't know that. I didn't know that story of connecting you and music and art, which is so interesting because that is the event that you're doing at the festival. Yeah. I didn't even know this. So to kind of let everyone in, Raquel on the 28th at 8 p.m. on the Play What You Can stage will be doing an event. We'll also have a musician there who will be getting inspiration from the audience, either a genre, a color, an idea, and both the musician will be improvising a song inspired by that, and Raquel will be improvising a piece of art right there on the stage, everyone watching, based on the music, based on the feeling in the area, based on the suggestion, based on whatever inspiration Raquel in that moment. So we really are jumping right back into that music and art are intertwined in this improvised, go where it needs to, emotional way. Raquel, I didn't know how perfect you were for this event. And I am so I was already excited, but I am so extra excited now.
I am too.
I knew. I didn't know, but I was like, Raquel needs to do this event. I didn't know, but I knew a little bit.
It feels like I've been training for this and I didn't even know it.
We didn't even know it. We didn't even know it. That's so exciting. So I encourage you all to come out on the 28th at 8 p.m. to see that. Also on the 28th, Raquel will be in the courtyard at the market from 6 to 10:15. So that is a great night to come out, check out the artwork, check out the event. Literally, Raquel has been training for it forever. I didn't know this, but now I am so over the moon looking forward to this.
Me too.
Oh, it's going to be so great. That is so exciting. So definitely check those out. Definitely when the gallery opens on the 18th, check out Raquel's pieces. Really take that moment to look at them and feel that emotional connection that we've just talked about. Raquel, thank you so much for being here. It warms my heart to have you. I'd actually love to have Becca join us again, and we can kind of do a little send-off. So everyone, this is Raquel. This is Becca. They are a part of our gallery. They are a part of the art market. They are a part of our events. They are a part of our Visual Fringe family, and we are so just truly honored and thrilled to be able to see their creations and continue to watch their artistic journey flourish before them. Make sure to check out their Etsy's. Make sure to check out their Instagrams. If you are an artist that is interested in applying, our applications are still open to the 11th at noon. Not much time, but there's still a little bit out there for you. And again, Raquel, Becca, thank you infinity times. I don't think that was a sentence, what I just said.
We get it.
You get it. And thank you many, many times that are endless. That's what I was trying to say. Infinite. I did it. We wrap this up. Thank you infinite times for being here, for sharing your creation, your passion, your inspiration, your emotions. I know it's often very personal, but I truly am thrilled to have the world be able to see it. And we're going to be right here to keep going throughout the festival. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
And everyone, we will be back on the 16th at 1 p.m. with another one of these with 2 new artists. So we hope to see you then, and we hope to see you at Visual Fringe. Have a great night.